The Galactic Council met in a grand hall that shimmered with colors from distant stars. Alien leaders from different worlds gathered around a long table, each one representing a powerful faction in the galaxy. They were worried about the humans, a new species that had begun to explore the stars. Most council members believed humans were weak and scared of war. They thought that humans would never fight back against a stronger opponent. As the meeting began, Zorkon, a tall and imposing alien with bright green skin, slammed his fist on the table. "We must discuss the human threat," he exclaimed, his voice booming through the room. The other council members turned to him, their interest piqued. Zorkon continued, "They have only recently started traveling beyond their planet. They are soft and they fear conflict. We should not worry about them. If we show our strength, they will back down." Murmurs of agreement spread around the table. Mira, a small but wise alien with large golden eyes, raised her hand to speak. "But what if they are not as weak as we think? We have underestimated species before." Zorkon shook his head dismissively. "You worry too much, Mira. I have seen their kind. They avoid fights and prefer to talk. We should not waste our time thinking about them." As the debate continued, other leaders shared stories from the past. They talked about how humans had been defeated in battles on their home planet, often choosing diplomacy over war. The council members laughed and exchanged jokes about humans being scared of their own shadows. In the middle of the meeting, a human ambassador named David was invited to speak. He was the first human to represent Earth in the Galactic Council. Nervously, he stood up and faced the council. David wore a simple suit, and his hands trembled slightly. He knew this was a chance to prove humanity's worth. "Honorable council members," David began, his voice steady but quiet. "We come in peace. Our goal is to explore and learn from the galaxy, not to conquer." He spoke of human values, cooperation, understanding, and hope for a better future. The council members listened but couldn't help but exchange skeptical glances. David's speech reinforced their beliefs about humans being soft. Zorkon smirked, thinking this just proved how weak humans really were. As David finished his speech, the council clapped politely, but their minds were already made up. They believed that humans were simply afraid to engage in battle. This perception would soon prove to be a dangerous mistake. After the meeting, as David walked out of the hall, he overheard a few council members talking. "They think they can just come into our galaxy and take what they want," one alien scoffed. "We will show them the power of true warriors." David's heart sank. He felt a mix of anger and frustration. Did they not see the potential of humanity? He knew that humans had fought and sacrificed for their freedom. They were not afraid of war, but they preferred to avoid it if possible. Back on Earth, news of the Council's decisions reached home. The leaders of Earth were concerned about how the Council viewed them. They held meetings to discuss their next steps. Many humans were eager to prove their strength. They were tired of being seen as weaklings. As preparations began to strengthen their defenses, David thought about how to change the Council's perception. He believed that humans needed to show their true nature, one of bravery and resilience. With these thoughts in mind, David decided to rally the human people. He would prepare them for what might come next. The Galactic Council had made a serious mistake, one that could lead to severe consequences. In the days that followed, the Council continued to plan their next moves regarding humans, unaware that the very beings they considered weak were preparing for something much bigger. As the Council laughed and joked about humans, they had no idea that a storm was brewing. The humans were ready to show the galaxy that they were anything but afraid. And soon the Council would witness the truth about humanity, one they would never forget. Days passed after the Council meeting, and the atmosphere was thick with tension. David, the human ambassador, worked tirelessly to unite his people. He believed that the Galactic Council's views were misguided, and he wanted to show them the true strength of humanity. Meanwhile, the Council continued to discuss humans, often laughing and dismissing any concerns about their capabilities. On a remote human colony on the edge of the galaxy, life went on as usual. Families were farming, children were playing, and people were busy with their daily tasks. Little did they know that danger was lurking just beyond the stars. A powerful alien faction, known as the Croxians, had been watching the humans closely. They had heard the Council's laughter and the belief that humans were weak. The Croxians saw this as an opportunity to strike. They believed that if they attacked, the humans would surrender easily, proving the Council's claims right. One quiet night, without warning, the Croxians launched a surprise attack on the colony. Their ships, dark and menacing, descended from the sky like shadows. The bright lights of the ships lit up the night, casting an eerie glow on the ground below. Alarms blared and panic erupted among the colonists. "Run! Get to the shelters!" shouted one of the colony leaders, her voice filled with urgency. Families scrambled, grabbing their children and belongings as they rushed toward safety. The Croxian ships opened fire, beams of energy lighting up the night and destroying homes in seconds. In the chaos, David received a distress signal from the colony. His heart raced as he listened to the screams and cries for help. "They're under attack!" he shouted, turning to his fellow leaders back on Earth. "We need to do something!" Without hesitation, the leaders gathered a team of elite soldiers and advanced technology to respond to the attack. David felt a surge of hope. This was their chance to show the galaxy that humans could fight back. Meanwhile, the colonists fought bravely to defend their home. Many grabbed makeshift weapons, determined to protect their families. They fought with courage, trying to hold off the Croxians as they awaited rescue. The battle raged on, with explosions lighting up the dark sky. The Croxians, confident in their strength, didn't expect the humans to resist so fiercely. "These creatures are stronger than we thought," one Croxian commander shouted in frustration. "Crush them!" But the humans did not give up. They worked together, using their knowledge of the land to set traps and ambushes for the Croxian forces. Families joined forces, proving that they were more than just afraid beings hiding from conflict. They were united, and they were fighting for their survival. Finally, as the dawn broke, David and his team arrived in their ships. They quickly joined the fight, launching an airstrike that surprised the Croxians. The sight of human ships flying overhead fueled the colonists' spirits. "We are not alone!" they shouted, feeling a renewed sense of hope. The Croxians, seeing the humans fight back with unexpected strength, began to panic. "What is happening?" the commander yelled. "These beings are not what we expected." David led his team with bravery, coordinating attacks and helping the colonists fight back. The tide of battle began to shift as humans fought side by side with their rescuers. The Croxians, once so confident, were forced to retreat. By the end of the day, the colony stood in ruins, but the spirit of the people remained unbroken. They had faced a fierce enemy and fought valiantly. As the dust settled, the humans looked around, realizing that they had proven something important. They were not the weak creatures the Council had thought. They were survivors. Back at the Galactic Council, news of the attack reached the leaders. They were stunned to learn that the humans had fought back and won. "We were wrong about them," Mira said quietly, her golden eyes wide with disbelief. "Humans are not afraid of war." The Council had no idea that the truth about humanity was beginning to unfold, and they would soon witness even more surprising events. After the battle at the colony, the news spread quickly throughout the galaxy. The Galactic Council, once so confident that humans were afraid of war, was now faced with a shocking reality. The council members gathered again, and this time the atmosphere was tense and serious. Zorkon, the loudest critic of humans, sat at the head of the table, his green skin slightly paler than usual. "We need to discuss what just happened. How could humans defeat the Croxians?" His voice was thick with disbelief. Mira, who had been defending the humans all along, spoke up. "They surprised everyone, including the Croxians. Humans are not what we thought. They fight to protect their home, their families. We must understand their strength. But how can we trust them?" Zorkon replied, slamming his fist on the table. "They are still newcomers in this galaxy. What if they turn against us next?" A wise alien named Velor, known for his thoughtful approach, interjected. "Instead of seeing them as a threat, we should see them as potential allies. The humans have shown bravery and skill. We should learn from them, not dismiss them." As the council debated, David, the human ambassador, prepared for another meeting with the council. He knew this was his chance to change their minds once and for all. He had seen his people unite, and he felt their strength surge within him. When David entered the grand hall, he was met with skeptical looks. He took a deep breath and stood tall. "Honorable members of the council," he began, his voice firm yet respectful. "I come not only as a representative of Earth, but as a witness to what my people can achieve when pushed to the edge." The council members listened closely, intrigued by David's determination. "We have faced many challenges, but we do not run from them. We fight back because we believe in protecting our home and our people. We are not afraid of war. We are afraid of losing what we hold dear." As David spoke, he saw the expressions on some council members change. They were beginning to realize that humans were not the weaklings they had assumed. They had the heart of warriors. "I invite you to see for yourselves," David continued, feeling the weight of his words. "Come to Earth. Witness our strength, our unity. You will find that we are more than just fearful beings. We are resilient and powerful." Some council members exchanged glances, weighing the risks and rewards of such an invitation. "What if they use this opportunity to deceive us?" Zorkon challenged, still not convinced. Mira stepped in, her golden eyes shining with hope. "If we don't give them a chance, we may lose a powerful ally. Humans could be the key to a strong coalition in this galaxy. We should not miss this opportunity." After much discussion, the council reluctantly agreed. They decided to send a delegation to Earth, hoping to understand humans better. As the meeting concluded, David felt a wave of relief wash over him. This was a crucial step forward. Back on Earth, preparations were underway for the council's visit. David worked with his team to ensure everything would showcase humanity's strengths. They set up demonstrations of human technology, teamwork, and bravery. David believed that the council would finally see the truth about humans. When the day of the visit arrived, a fleet of alien ships descended upon Earth. The sky filled with colors as the council members stepped out, their eyes wide with wonder. They had never seen a planet so vibrant and full of life. David greeted them warmly, ready to show them the best of humanity. "Welcome to Earth. We are excited to share our world with you," he said, his voice filled with pride. The council members were led to various exhibitions where they witnessed humans working together, building incredible machines and engaging in friendly competitions. They saw humans training, practicing their skills, and displaying unity in the face of challenges. As the day went on, the council members began to feel a shift in their perception. They realized that humans were not just fearful beings, they were warriors at heart, ready to fight for what they believed in. By the end of the visit, Zorkon, who had been the most resistant, stood quietly, reflecting on everything he had seen. "Perhaps I was wrong," he finally admitted, his voice low. "Humans are not what I thought. They have a fire within them, a strength that cannot be ignored." The council members left Earth with a new understanding. They had witnessed the real truth about humanity, a truth that would change their relationship forever. After the council's visit to Earth, a new alliance began to form. The Galactic Council now saw humanity's true strength and spirit. They decided that humans should be part of the galactic defense against threats like the Croxians. But while the Council celebrated this newfound partnership, the Croxians were plotting revenge. The Croxians were furious after their defeat at the human colony. Their commander, General Crix, was determined to show the galaxy that humans were not to be trusted. "We will strike again," he growled, his sharp teeth glinting in the dim light of the war room. "This time we will crush them before they can fight back." Crix gathered a massive fleet of Croxian ships, determined to attack Earth directly. He believed that by targeting the humans, he could instill fear in the Galactic Council and reclaim his position of power. As the ships gathered in the shadows of a distant planet, they prepared for their assault. Back on Earth, David and the Galactic Council were working together to strengthen their defenses. They shared technology, strategies, and training, ready to face any threat that came their way. David felt a surge of confidence as he saw the unity between humans and aliens growing stronger. But just as they were starting to feel secure, alarms blared throughout the command center. "Incoming Croxian ships!" shouted a technician, his voice trembling. "They're heading straight for Earth." David's heart raced. "We need to prepare for battle. Get the defense teams ready," he commanded, his voice steady despite the panic in the room. Humans and aliens sprang into action, knowing they had to defend their new alliance. As the Croxian fleet approached, dark clouds gathered in the sky, and a feeling of dread washed over the Earth. David stood with the council members, watching the massive ships fill the horizon. "We can't let them take our home," he said, determination shining in his eyes. The battle began with a deafening roar as the Croxians unleashed their first wave of attacks. Energy beams shot from their ships, lighting up the sky with fiery blasts. David and his team led the human ships into the fray, countering the assault with their advanced weaponry. "Return fire!" David shouted, as the humans launched missiles and energy blasts at the approaching Croxians. The battle raged in the skies above Earth, a fierce clash of colors and sounds. On the ground, families took shelter while brave soldiers held their positions, ready to defend their planet. The council members coordinated their efforts, using their knowledge of battle strategies to support the humans. The fight was brutal. Croxian ships exploded, lighting up the dark sky, while human pilots maneuvered their crafts with incredible skill. But the Croxians were relentless. They regrouped and launched a second wave of attacks, determined to overwhelm the defenders. As the battle continued, David spotted General Crix leading the charge from a flagship above. "We need to take down Crix's ship," he called out, rallying his team. "If we can bring down their commander, we can turn the tide of this battle." With a fierce determination, David and a group of elite pilots took to the skies, aiming for the flagship. They dodged blasts and flew through debris, their hearts pounding as they approached the colossal Croxian ship. As they closed in, David gave the command. "Now! Aim for the engines!" The pilots fired their weapons with precision, striking the engines of the flagship. The ship shuddered and began to spiral, smoke billowing from its damaged hull. Seeing their commander's ship falter, the Croxians panicked. General Crix, furious and desperate, fought to regain control. "We will not lose!" he roared, but his voice was drowned out by the chaos around him. With one final blast, David's team struck a critical blow. The flagship exploded in a brilliant flash, sending debris flying through space. The Croxians, witnessing their leader's downfall, began to retreat, their morale shattered. As the dust settled, the remaining Croxian ships turned away, fleeing into the depths of space. The humans and their allies erupted in cheers, celebrating their hard-fought victory. David breathed a sigh of relief, feeling a wave of pride wash over him. They had defended their planet, but more importantly, they had proven their strength to the galaxy. The alliance between humans and the Galactic Council had been tested and had emerged victorious. This battle was not just a fight against a common enemy, it was a defining moment for humanity. They had shown the galaxy that they were not just afraid of war, they were ready to face it head-on. After the epic battle, the mood on Earth shifted dramatically. The news of their victory spread across the galaxy, and the Galactic Council celebrated this newfound partnership with humanity. David stood with his fellow leaders, watching the cheering crowds below. People waved flags and held up banners celebrating the alliance. "This victory was more than just a battle," David said, turning to the council members gathered around him. "It has shown us that we can stand together against any threat." Mira, the council member who had always supported humans, nodded. "You are right, David. We have witnessed the bravery of your people. We must build on this victory to create a better future for all." As the council discussed their next steps, they decided to hold a grand celebration on Earth. This event would unite humans and aliens, showcasing their alliance to the galaxy. Everyone was excited about the idea, eager to celebrate the bond they had formed. Weeks passed as the preparations began. Humans and aliens worked side by side, designing decorations and planning activities for the celebration. David felt a sense of hope and purpose. This was a chance to strengthen the ties between their worlds. On the day of the celebration, the skies above Earth were filled with colorful lights and ships. The main square was transformed into a vibrant festival with booths, games, and performances. People from all backgrounds joined together, laughing and sharing stories. David stood at the center of it all, greeting visitors from different species. He marveled at the diversity around him. Aliens with bright colors and unique features mingled with humans, all united in the spirit of friendship. "Welcome, friends," David called out, raising his voice above the noise. "Today we celebrate not just our victory, but our future together." The crowd cheered, their voices echoing through the square. As the festivities continued, David spotted Mira talking to a group of humans. He walked over, curious about their conversation. "What are you discussing?" he asked, joining the group. Mira smiled. "I was telling them about our different cultures and how much we can learn from each other. The more we share, the stronger our alliance will be." David agreed. "Understanding each other is key. We have so much to teach one another." He looked around, seeing children playing together, humans and aliens enjoying each other's company. It warmed his heart to see such unity. Later in the day, a stage was set up for speeches and performances. David stepped up to the microphone, ready to address the crowd. thank you all for being here today. This is a moment to remember. We have shown that when we stand together, we can achieve greatness. We are no longer just humans or aliens. We are allies, friends, and family. As he spoke, the crowd listened intently, captivated by his words. Let this celebration mark the beginning of a new era. An era of peace, cooperation, and friendship between our worlds. After David finished speaking, the crowd erupted in applause. Then they enjoyed various performances showcasing music and dance from both humans and aliens. The atmosphere was filled with joy and laughter as everyone celebrated their unity. As the sun set, David and Mira watched the fireworks light up the sky. Each explosion of color reminded them of the battle they had fought together and the bright future ahead. "This is just the beginning, isn't it?" Mira said, her eyes sparkling with excitement. "Absolutely," David replied, feeling hopeful. "We've proven ourselves as allies, but now we must work to ensure that this alliance lasts. Together we can explore the galaxy, solve problems, and face any challenge that comes our way." Days turned into weeks, and the spirit of cooperation continued to grow. Humans and aliens collaborated on various projects, sharing knowledge and technology. They built ships designed for interspecies travel, allowing both humans and aliens to explore new worlds together. As they ventured into the galaxy, David often reflected on how far they had come. The misunderstandings that once divided them had transformed into a powerful friendship. They were no longer seen as fearful beings, they were regarded as strong allies. One day, David stood on the observation deck of a new ship, gazing at the stars. He felt a sense of belonging and purpose. The galaxy was vast and filled with mysteries, but now he was not alone in facing it. Together with his allies, they would chart new paths and make their mark on the universe. And so, the story of humanity and the Galactic Council continued, marked by hope, bravery, and unity. Their new beginning was not just a chapter in history, it was a promise to each other that they would stand together, no matter the challenges ahead.